As I leave my front door, this is the view I get. These are wonderful ferns that have been here for many years now. Some Brunnera, which I've planted, I think this is the third season for my Brunnera, which I'm really, really pleased with. And the ferns do so well. They don't get a lot of sun here, and so I have to look at shade plants. In the early spring, these daffodils were gorgeous, and also the very early spring, the first flowers that bloom from this area are little blue star flowers. And now you can see that there are some wonderful lily of the valley growing in this area, which I absolutely love the scent of. And my astilbe, which I planted 2 years ago, is coming along beautifully. And then at the entrance is this pot with little violas in it that I've planted, and I change this pot quite a bit throughout the season. Then coming along, you can see my pot is sitting here of American elderberry, which I will be planting out, but it is doing very good in this temporary spot for it. Coming along this way, along the front of the shed that we built several years ago, slanted shed, and it houses our tractor and various supplies. And you can see the remnants of my winter sowing. If you were viewing back then, you can see there's the hollyhocks and lupine and snapdragon, and also coming along are my peonies. Now these are like an orange sherbet peony, and if I can zone in on the label, can't seem it seems to be, anyway, this is really beautiful, and I will show you that when it's in full bloom. And along the way there are two more peony plants that I put in last year, and so they'll have limited flowers, I'm sure, on it. But along here I call this my primrose path, because people just love these little bouquets of blooms that come up early in the spring. Sometimes there's snow on them, and they do so well in this spot. And you can tell that this spot has not been my focus for a while because it needs to be weeded. But also along here I have planted 3 red cabbage, which I'm very excited about, seeing whether they will produce real cabbage in this area. And then also stepping back, you can see our bird feeder, or not really feeder, watering station. And every day that has to be cleaned out, and I haven't done that yet because it gets blossoms in it from the falling branches of this apple tree, which we have been working on so much. And now we're hoping that this year we will finally get some good apples. We took out huge limbs from this tree, as you can see here. Lots and lots of small limbs. I hesitate to take too much. We've already taken a good half of the tree away. And I'm hoping that it provides this sunlight to come through to our grapes, which are just coming into, they're doing so well. This grape, this particular grapevine, was here when we moved in 42 years ago. I'm not sure exactly, but anyways, quite a while ago. And you can see that it's traveling along, blooming out beautifully. We've had some extremely hot weather, and so this grapevine is doing really well. Now this one is actually one that I planted maybe 4 years ago, and so it too is sending up lots of leaves, doing really well. So I love this grapevine. Also in this section is a clematis. Now I've heard some people call it clematis, but here in Michigan we call it clematis. And this is a really lovely pink and white striped clematis. And just as an overview, you can see how that looks. In the front of this slanted shed, we have another peony bush. Now this peony bush is, again, only 2 years old, but it is doing fabulous. I can't wait to see the blooms. We have lots of blooms on it. Ants busy licking off the delicious sweetness from it. These tulips were also lovely. I also have in here a whole bank of mums, and these mums are like daisy. They're orange, and in the fall they're just gorgeous, but they're creeping out and need to be removed. I also transplanted a few primrose, but they really like the other area better. They're more in love with this area, I think. So there's the front garden, including the apple tree and grapevines. So hope you enjoyed that. Now, next to the grapevines, we have this magnificent duo of Japanese maple. And I put this together maybe 12 years ago, where I put two plants together. They weren't more than 2.5 feet tall, skinny little things, and my husband said, "That's not what I envisioned in that area. I wanted something big and lush." So it took a while, but it certainly is big and lush now. It affords us lots of interest. During the seasons, it will change colors. The green will actually turn an orange. I will give you another shot in about a month or so, and it will look different again. But I eventually have to trim this. It kind of reminds me of the Muppets Snuffleupagus. And turning around, this is my diamond-shaped hosta bed. These hostas are amazing because they will take full sun, do marvelous, shoot up beautiful blooms, and I've also put in some coleus, and there is iris growing in there, so that very soon will change as well. This bed was full of beautiful hyacinths and smelled delicious. A couple days ago transplanted the snapdragons from my winter sowing. I'm very excited to have those in the ground. I also purchased some petunias, which I will be lining in front of where the hyacinth were. Just a lovely view. I love this garden. All of my gardens need some attention as far as weeding goes, because we've been heavily investing our time into building our veggie gardens, and I will show them to you soon.